These are the forces. You know, the scripture says you fight not. You fight not flesh, right? You thought it was a joke, huh? You thought it was about Jesus. No, it's for you. You need to pay attention beyond religion. It's real. You're not fighting flesh. The forces are real. This is an ecosystem. It's designed for the survival of the fittest. But part of being the fittest is to understand that people is a form of leverage. To have a system that works for a lot more than just a few figureheads who think they figured it all out, right? You could just collect. The same people will come and chop your head if you don't pay attention to the balance that's needed in this. It's all connected. All the principles are connected. They're all connected, okay? They're all connected. It's about understanding is as it's deeper, there are nuances deeper than right and wrong, okay? Ideally, I would actually say Shei is wrong, but I don't want to. I would tell him he's right, but I don't want to center him. I want him to. It's the wrong that I just told you. It's not even about the wrong. I just want you to understand the nuances. This understanding them is what makes marriage work. Okay. Somebody 2 days ago said, "Not everybody is lucky to have a perfect wife." I say, "Sherry Weary, there's a perfect wife. Somebody, eh? It is no wonder why you just collect with the water. A person who thinks that somebody is lucky and they have a perfect wife somewhere, they will collect. Sorry. The same thing goes for anybody who thinks the perfect husband is somewhere, right? If you are too rigid in your thoughts, if you're not asking enough questions, you'll collect. Okay, there's too many forces beyond flesh against you. It's too many forces. Okay, and the when I say too many forces, that's not to discourage that there's no answer. It's to encourage you to focus more on self-intelligence, self-awareness. I didn't even mean to play that. Okay. All right. There's too many forces. So the only point of leverage you have for the most part is self. Make sure that you're good for the marketplaces. There is an active marketplace, and people will always go for the hardest things in the market. Things, people. Nobody wants to spend time around you if it's toxic. Not necessarily because you're toxic, because they deem you toxic. They are the beholder. Right? The market is not you. It's the other side. The one that you tend to point finger at, actually, they're the one that determine your value in this marketplace. Never mind the moral values. I am perfect. Like, no, it's perception. Okay? And part of perception is the reality as well. Because in the long run, they are paying attention if it's real, authentic or not. Okay? But I'm just letting you know that if you come off as a bad person and you're actually a good person, nobody cares. No one cares. Let's play a little bit more of this.
Fine.
This is the foundation of the conversation.
Okay. So, the man was built by evolution. God did not create you. You evolved. And as you evolved, you evolved as a result of adaptations.
All right. That's absolutely correct. But it's going to use to justify BS. You adapt. Okay, you don't blame the environment. You can't imagine you are in a wood of lions. And so, well, the lion chopped me up because there was too much rain. No, it was your responsibility to protect yourself, not just yourself, your lioness, and your children. Well, since they like to use such terrible analogy all the time, let's go back to human beings. Wherever society you find yourself, there are policies and concepts and ideologies and options that can affect your success rate. You are absolutely correct about that. You don't get to blame those things because they're not human. You get to blame yourself if you have to blame at all. I think blaming is a terrible strategy, but you get to hold yourself responsible for learning how to adapt. Adapting does not mean you become doormat. That means you don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay? It means you engage your power, okay? It means all that I'm traditional stuff, it's not going to work, okay? What's the message here for the ladies? The policies are designed against your family. You're going to be given illusion of options. The grass is going to seem greener on the other side very quickly. It's just better out there, right? Your own situation is going to feel narcissistic very quicker than you would be if you were living in a village in Oshogbo. Illusions, potential illusions. It's not always illusion. The point is, before you assume you know what you're doing, ask questions. It's polar opposite, but the same issues. Before you assume you know what's going on, ask questions. Before you find yourself on Tinder and swipe, and it's been 15 years and there's nothing quality that you've engaged with. In fact, you find out that you've gone on a date with a person who had just been showcased as somebody's new fiancé. Ouch! Wahala. Wahala. It's real. There's no one side that's going to collect more here. There's only children that will collect, because not be adults. The children will collect, unfortunately, much more. We have to pay attention beyond the obvious, something that connects with your nerves so soon. Relax. There's more to it. There's more to it. And we cannot get to it until you're willing to tell your story. Personal, one-on-one, coaching, counseling, therapy. Generalized conversation. Cruise. 1 or 2 lessons here and there. Cruise. That's about it. I'm telling you, I'm warning you now. I can't save all of the coconut head in the world. I'm sorry. I can't. There's only so much. But these principles are true 100% of the time. Why? Because they've stood the test of time. It's not just modern times. Coconut head existed before. They used their weakness to get them. It's their weakness that they use to get you. It's your weakness. The enemy is always paying attention to your weakness. So that's what you should be doing. You should be paying attention to what the enemy is using, right? Who is the enemy? You also tend to be your own worst enemy, just in case you don't know.
Even the way we eat 3 square meals is not natural.
Irrelevant.
Orange juice with sugar in the morning with cereal is not natural.
These are the issues. Irrelevant.
It's not natural.
Confusion.
At a point in my life, I just woke up and said, you know what, I'm not eating. If you see me eating breakfast, I'm in a hotel.
The point is making is that it's not natural. Marriage is not natural in the Western world. Confusion. It's a lie. The information is not complete, at least. Okay?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
It's a lie. How do I know? Because other people are doing it successfully. What is success? Some people just stay in it because they're like, see, that's another part of the conversation. Do you want to dig through that conversation? We can have that conversation as well. But I doubt it. You just want to conclude that it is the fault of everything else but self. And it actually doesn't have to be your fault. It could just be you don't know what you don't know. There's something to learn. There's something to learn. It never has to be anybody's fault. No, it has to be somebody's fault because we have to hold this. You have to hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Like easy. Drink water. Hold it accountable. You go satisfy yourself, okay? But you won't get out on the other side. You will get stuck in the same position. Because people don't really give a shit. They don't care. They'll go careless. Drink sugar cane, scuba duba. She will dump your ass if she deems you incompetent, or she deems that there's better stuff in the market than you, or when she thinks the grass is greener on the other side, she will dump your ass. Because sometimes you get to a position and self-preservation is always the best way to move forward. And all along, you've been right. Because you have your own experience. Ola, you are encouraging bad behavior. Kinikawashi bad. What we go do now?
I just want to enjoy. But normally, what I eat for breakfast is granite, pear, one pear, pour a handful of granite in my mouth, a handful of cashew nuts in my mouth, and I eat some grapes. That's my breakfast. Finish. If I feel like I'm a bit dizzy and slow because I don't have carbs, I eat sugar-free biscuits. This Jacob's cream crackers. I eat 2 or 3. It has no sugar. I'm good. Anytime I'm hungry again, I go and nibble on some grapes or some cherries. I always have them in my fridge. Always have pears. When it's afternoon, I eat fruits. It's only towards evening that I can sit down and say, okay, I'll eat half of fufu.
I'll let it play a little bit while I talk. Let me see here. Black babies or black male babies to be deleted. I think I know who you're referenced. There's a few of them, but I think I know who you think I know who you know. There's one that's most popular. Yeah. Let's see. I want to ask MOP a question. Hey, maybe you want to ask the question in the chat. Just put a Q next to it because I want to. Let me see here. I'm looking at the time. I'm definitely going to allow some people from, but if you're eager, please you can drop it by putting a Q next to it. You can drop questions. Okay. It's true. Adaptation is key. He's right about that. Except that he's using it to justify nonsense. You know, he's definitely right about that. Yeah. A policy is designed against your family. It wasn't designed against the family. See, again, interpretations of the events. When there's rain or sunshine or some kind of environmental factor that is not favorable, your interpretation of it would determine your next move. It would determine your outcome, your next point of outcome. You cannot afford to interpret it as policy is designed against family. Okay, it's your interpretation, same event, but your interpretations. Okay. All right. So even though it's the same event, your interpretation of it would determine your next point, your next move, and potentially your outcome, right? Okay. Can you keep it down, baby? You want to say hello? Say hello to the people. Say hi.
Hello, people.
Okay, say bye now.
Say bye, people.
Okay, bye-bye. No, you bye. Bye. Be quiet, okay?
Yay!
All right. So there are policies that gives human beings options. You have options. Just human, including you, brother. There are that gives you much more options, right? Those options, they're double-edged sword. You can use it to destroy yourself. It is you that can use it to destroy yourself. Okay? Just like any other place in the world. There are policies that can work for the masses, but against specific individuals because they refuse to engage knowledge and wisdom. You cannot blame the design of those policies or those policies, not when you are benefiting from them as a person, as an individual. Because you have the same options. If you deem your wife that she's moving mad, you can literally exit by filing a few paperwork, right? But there's the other aspect of our social construct, right? There's a part of the way we are raised. As men, part of the way you survive, the way you feel a sense of fulfillment is being able to keep your home together. And when you fail at that, it tampers with the part of your brain that women are not necessarily previewed to. So effectively, you're the one getting value in that sense from staying in a toxic situation. And it is no wonder why a lot of men don't think they have the options of leaving or not tolerating BS without making it all about all of women. That one woman did something that you deem not proper and you decided, I'm leaving, or I'm not going to tolerate that behavior. Leaving does not have to be a permanent decision. But it's the moment you demonstrate that you have options, you gain a little extra level of respect. People can't take you for granted or willy-nilly if you've demonstrated that you have options, even as a man. Okay? So, no, that's not exactly what you were saying. What you're saying is it's designed against family. There's no such thing. All the policies, if I have to generalize, all the policies in the United States, at least that I know, are designed to benefit people that are able to sustain a family. People that are not able to do that, they are collecting woto financially in many other areas of our society. Not because the policy work against them, because they are not competent. Not being competent is not a crime. It's just what it is. And sometimes you have to try it a second time with somebody else before you figure it out. And the people that will collect the most is the one concluding that no, it is just designed against a certain group of people. While they are probably right.
Oh, you're right.
They will continue to collect because there's no room for growth. They concluded, right? It's very simple. Just be open to asking more questions, right? And focus on self. Take care of yourself. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's easier said than done. Let's see what he's saying now.
And they do their business and they make their billions. And every year, 2-3 times a year, they go to Dubai.
So here we go. He started talking about money.
And go with their family, with their private jets, charter flights, or do whatever.
He started talking about money here, but let me play a video for you. No, wait. Before I play that video, let me go back a little bit.
What is gate? You'll be seeing Dan Tata's helicopter.
Okay. The Dan Tata's helicopter.
Private jet is waiting for him in the airport. He needs to move. The helicopter comes and picks him from home. There's another house in that same Banana Island. Dan Tata's Pex Gage is living here. Pex, if I lie, cut me. Pex Gage, Linda Gage's younger brother.
Wait, let's go back. He's talking about money, okay?
You are living abroad because you don't have a better choice.
You're living abroad because you don't have a better choice. You're poor. That's how it started. Let's go back. Somebody is triggering him in the comments. Just, you could tell.
Normally abroad. Let me break it down to you.
Let's go back a little bit.
How many of you live in $10 million homes?
How many of you live in $10 million homes? Pastor Freeze, Daddy Freeze, right? Is equating to living context, right? It's indirectly insinuating that living in $10 homes is the same thing as higher quality of life, right? Because that's the whole point of these terrible comparisons. There's no need to compare lifestyle in Nigeria too, but he started it. That's what this. He started it in the public space. I'm sure somebody tried to, maybe somebody shamed Nigerians in his comment. Maybe that's why he's responding to maybe, okay? But in the public space, he's absolutely wrong in this conversation, okay?